Namaste, my dear friends. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning to everyone joining us for watching this video from across the world. Welcome to session 5 of the NEURODHARMA web series that we've been presenting on behalf of Pyramid Valley International, Bengaluru. NEURODHARMA, as by now we all know, is understanding the truths of life, dharma, through the truths of your body, especially your brain and your nervous system. Everything that our sages and spiritual masters have told us now has a neurological basis, which is what neuroscientists are telling us. And the series, most of the content is based on the books by Dr. Rick Hansen. We've seen 5 keys to lasting happiness. We start with steadiness, that is focus and concentration, the impact of that on our brain. And we also kind of understood some tactics to get our brain to that state. Then next we saw warm-heartedness or loving kindness. Next we saw fullness. What does fullness mean? Contentment mean? And what is the impact that contentment has on our brain? And what do we need to do to get our brains into those states where we feel contentment? And the last session, we saw what does it mean to be in the now? What are the brain networks that get activated when you are in the now? And we also saw allness. How do we take a total, whole, all perspective compared to a limited, narrow, egocentric perspective? Today, we're going to look at an important and a very interesting key called wholeness. Look at it, the program is titled Being in Wholeness. The whole reason why we are doing this series is to understand how we move from fragmentation to wholeness. Like every time, we'll also end this with a 15 to 20-minute practice session. So let's begin. So moving from fragmentation to integration. What do we mean? Let's first understand what do we mean by fragmentation? Why are we fragmented? What are the hindrances to being in wholeness? And what are the benefits of wholeness? And a few practices, few different ways to be in wholeness always. So our brain is a movie production studio. It has a remarkable capability to churn out pictures on an ongoing basis. We have thousands of thoughts, so thousands of scenes get recreated in our mind, in our brain. That's what we keep seeing, the mind chatter behind every moment. The production process starts this way. First, you perceive something, a person, a thing, a situation, or a type of food, a type of noise. So all these are the sound and light effects that passes through your senses. And then the mind colors it with a certain emotion and feeling. And then you get lost in a subsequent thought, subsequent thought, subsequent thought. This is how the whole movie keeps running. And a lot of times we get lost in the movie, we get identified with certain characters, we get hung up on situations should be a certain way. If the particular scene in the movie is not to our liking, we don't like it. And more often than not, we don't know where the movie is going to end, though we know we want the movie to end in a certain way. The key point here is we all have those movies playing around in our brains, in our minds. And most often than not, we get lost in the movie. We get identified with the characters. We get identified with the situation. You must have heard a lot of people who go to movie theater and cry in some of the scenes, forgetting that it's a movie. So the call here is to not get lost in the movie, but step back and look at the theater. Look at the theater. It's just life. And then when you start looking at it from that perspective, it's just a movie, then all drama stops, all unnecessary drama stops. So, what is the problem of fragmentation? What is this problem we are talking about? Living in pieces, suffering in parts. It's not about our body. Our body is always one, right? It's about when we have these experiences, we divide experiences into good and bad. I like this, I don't like this. It'll be good if I have this, I want to avoid doing certain things, certain experiences. Parts of the mind juggling with other parts. One part of your mind says, I need to do exercise. The other part of the mind says, oh my God, just one day, let me take a break. One part of the mind tells, wake up now. The other part of the mind says, I want to sleep. So parts of the mind juggling with each other's, identifying with likes and dislikes, approaching things that are pleasurable, and pushing away things that are painful, right? And then inside the movie, inside our consciousness, we have locked a lot of things, a lot of desires, a lot of incidents that we don't want to uncover, that we don't want to tell anybody, right? So the common examples, as you can see here, I feel one way but act another way. Internal critic, I want to speak, I want to communicate an idea in a meeting or to somebody else, but the internal mind says, oh, Sai, it's very stupid. It's a stupid idea. Why do you want to say it? Right? And then some emotions from deep when we were children, right? Some things that impact us. And we always think that we are not the correct ideal self. We want the ideal self. Our mind carves out a picture. This is what is my ideal self, right? So that's what is fragmentation. What causes fragmentation? Things like doubt, things like envy, things like comparison. They cause the fragmentation of our mind. So why does this happen? There are two neural networks. We're getting into the neural basis, what we call as doing and being. So there are is midline cortical networks which pass from the front to the back along the top of the brain, top of your head, top of the brain. This is the default mode network is at the back of your brain, the center part of your back of your brain, right? This is the task focused network, default mode network, always ruminating. All the sound and noise, that commentary that your movie keeps making is from that default mode network. That is what makes you time travel to the past. Oh my God, why did that happen? Or travel to the future, how will it be? Right? And that gives you the strong sense of self. So that is called midline cortical networks, which is responsible for doing all the task-oriented state of our mind. And then we have lateral cortical networks, which is the side of the mind on top, between the top of your head and your left and right ears. Right side of the mind. These are called lateral cortical networks. These are responsible for present moment awareness, nowness that we learned in the last session. Right? And this gets activated when it senses something as whole. When those networks get activated, that means your brain is functioning as a whole. And there are ways that you can activate it, which is what we will practice today, which is called whole body breathing. So when you are sensing with your body, whole body, then those networks get activated. That is what whenever we talk about present moment awareness, an important part of it is being aware of your body. And that is the mode where you feel a sense of minimal sense of self. It's a being mode. You just be without thinking. Thinking is all part of the first network. This allows you to just be, just feel. Whenever we say feel your breath, those are the networks that get activated. So these are two neural networks, but due to, like I said, due to the negativity bias of our brain, due to the nature of our mammalian brain, reptilian brain, so we spend most of the time in the task-oriented networks rather than the being-oriented network. So what is doing and being? Why is one better than the other? The doing mode is focused on the parts, not as a whole. It is very goal-directed, achievement-oriented, outcome-oriented. And that results in time travel. That is the one that does all the verbal and linguistic processing. When you're lost in thought, when When you're mind wandering, you're doing the thinking, even though if you're not doing some activity. That causes fragmentation. Whereas the being mode, the lateral networks on both sides of your brain, so it's aware of the big picture. Last session, we learned about allocentric processing. That is the network that allow you to process, look at the big picture. It has nothing to do, nowhere to go. And it all depends, it combines all the sensory experiences. You are looking at the picture, you're looking at me, you are hearing the sounds. It is the one that constructs everything. You're just being. But while you're listening to this, your midline networks are active in the sense of thinking. Oh, I don't understand this. Oh, what does it mean? Right? So is it true? So those are the kind of thinking activities that come to you to happen as you continue to mind wander. The being mode, you are non-judgmental. Anytime you're non-judgmental, completely accepting, completely present in the now, that is the time when your sense of self is missing and you feel a sense of ease and comfort. This is the time when you feel undivided. We need both modes, but most of us over rely on the doing network. So that's a doing versus being. And as I mentioned, the doing mode is a default mode network ruminating, prefrontal cortex problem solving, the left hemisphere rational thinking, rational logical thinking is processing verbally, and that's what it creates a strong sense of self. Last session, we understood what do we mean by allness, what creates the sense of self, and then we understood that sense of self is transitory. There's nothing like a concrete sense of self where everything changes. So in the being mode, the lateral networks become active, the midline activity decreases, you are more right hemisphere oriented, you are not thinking, and you are more aware of your body. Insula, I'll keep mentioning that insula is a part of a brain that is responsible for awareness of your body. Anytime you're aware of your body while breathing or while doing exercise, that means the insula is getting activated. And this is where the sense of self diminishes because you are being, you're not thinking. Thinking is related to your reptilian brain. It's also related to the ego part of your mind, which creates that sense of self. That is why it always wants to keep you safe, away from threats, including threats like someone passed a remark and how do you define, right? So this is what is happening in your brain between doing and the being mode. So why is it that we are mostly in the doing mode, which is mostly in the fragmented mode? Buddha identified these 5 hindrances: sensual desire, ill will, fatigue or laziness, restlessness and worry or anxiety, and doubt. So sensual desire is anything to do with that we have strong likes and dislikes. I like being, I like going to a particular movie. I like being with certain set of people. I like certain situations. I don't like being in cold, in a cold temperature. I don't like a specific set of food or a specific set of people, right? So desire includes both for and away from something that you want. Ill will, hostility, bitterness, comparison, envy, jealousy, resentment. It could be towards a situation or it could be towards people. Number 3, fatigue and laziness, heaviness of body. When we eat mindlessly, when we sleep mindlessly, when we work mindlessly, fatigue happens. And that gives a sense of laziness, dullness of the mind. This is associated with the tamasic guna. And then 4, restless worry, anxiety about the future, or regret, remorse about something that has happened in the past. All this causes agitation in the brain, which is, again, there's some doing happening in our brain. The last one is doubt, whether something will happen. And doubt, again, results in anxiety, restlessness, right? So all these, for example, the fact that you have desire, you want something, and you not, whether you will get that something or not is doubt. If you not got it, then you are restless. When will I get out of this uncomfortable situation? So all these are interrelated. These are the 5 hindrances that block us from going into the being mode or be in the wholeness mode. And these hindrances are not enemies to fight against, they are just patterns. And they create suffering by blocking our natural state of being. They divide the mind against the same. When any of those hindrances are active, that is when your mind becomes fragmented. I want to do this or that. That is what is doubt, anxiety. All that happens because of not in the being mode, right? But those hindrances are empty of essence. They have to be considered like clouds. They shouldn't be considered something concrete. They can be removed. They can be overcome. And we all know it is through the practice of meditation. They create suffering by fueling craving, reactivity, reacting versus response, maintaining a sense of fragmentation, being whole. How do you get over that? Right? There are these techniques called let be, let go, let in. Let be is basically mindful observation. You simply notice those hindrances. Whenever you feel you want something, you just observe that and allow that particular feeling, be mindful of that feeling in part of the body and allow it to permeate, allow you to go diffuse along your body. We practice some of these meditations during our retreats, right? So you let be, you allow it. Suddenly you're feeling angry. Where do you feel the anger? And allow it to let go of the anger. That is the letting go part of it. You feel jealousy, you feel envy. When you compare something, suddenly you feel a sense of regret. You either let go of it or allow it to be the feeling and then allow it to spread across your body. So let go is active release. Oh, I don't need to be angry. Oh, I don't need to be craving for that particular thing. So when you are mindful, you let go of it. And the third one is let in. What do we mean by let in? It's cultivating the opposites, right? When you're angry at someone, how do I feel a bit more compassionate? When I don't have a particular thing that I want, how do I accept it? How do I start liking it? Right? When I go to somebody's house, I might be given a food that I don't like, but I can't tell that I don't like this kind of food. What do? You take a little and try to get adjusted to it. That's what is let in. So let be mindfully service that feeling or emotion. Let go with full response, with full consciousness, allow that feeling to go, or being mindful of the opposite, replacing that particular feeling with something opposite, right? Which is what is let go, let in. Please remember these: let be, let go, and let in the opposite. And you can always practice different hindrances. So, like last session, we talked about peace, contentment, and love, and we practiced contentment through gratitude. So anytime you are burdened with the hindrance of sensual desire, you can always rest in satisfaction, contentment, right? Oh, I had 2 sweets. I'm happy with it. You may want to have one more sweet, but the fact that you already had two, then you rest in contentment, then you feel full, then you feel happy. Ill will. I don't like the particular person. I don't like that particular situation. I don't like a particular person succeeding. How do we do that? It's about compassion. You let in compassion to let go of ill will. Similarly, when you fatigue or hindrance, laziness is kind of causing that hindrance to be in fullness, in wholeness, right? Then you get some energy. You either get a lot of people talk about getting sleep during meditation, right? You get adequate rest first, or you do some deep breathing, you do some movement exercises, or you go out and get some fresh air to move from fatigue to an energetic situation. Agitation, restlessness, worry. How do you do that? You calm them to tranquility practices like breath work and meditation. Doubt. Doubt comes from ignorance. The moment you have some clarity on this is how life works, this is how my mind plays, this is how my body works, then automatically you are ready to take up those situations and consciously remove those hindrances. You return to what the present moment is undoubtable, trust in the present moment. So all that happened through the practice of clarity. So we saw what is wholeness. Wholeness is not being fragmented, not being in this or that situation. We saw the brain networks that are responsible for fragmentation, which is a doing network, and the being network is responsible for us being in that state of wholeness, state of stillness, state of happiness. Happiness, real happiness always comes from a sense of wholeness. Hedonic happiness or temporary happiness comes from a sense of fragmentation. You're happy with having, less like a kid, when you give him or her a chocolate, he or she is very happy. But once the feeling of sweetness, once the satisfaction of the chocolate gets over, the person comes back to what another state, natural state of wanting more. So there are several practices to be in wholeness besides meditation. The path that you see here as tranquility is what we get in meditation, right? Apart from that, in a session, couple of sessions away, when we talked about fullness, we talked about the red zone, the reactive zone, and the green zone, the responsive zone. So the moment, how are you in the green zone? The moment you practice contentment, the moment you practice peace in your body, right? When you feel the needs are already met. And we also saw there are three needs: safety, satisfaction, and connection. So only when these three needs are unmet, you get a sense of craving, which is a hindrance to wholeness. So anytime you're feeling jittery, fragmented, you'll have to see which of these three needs are not being met and appropriately meet those. When you do that, it reduces that midline activation. All right. So then we have this sensory focus. Now we'll look at a few of these. Rest and green zones, I already covered this. Sense of needs unmet, less driven to figure things out, less obsessive thinking. Sometimes you always want to know why. Why am I sad? Why are these things happening? Right? You let go of those kind of need for why, the craving for why, and you rest in wholeness. You are in the being mode. So a sensory focus. Anytime you feel fragmented, anytime you're feeling anxious, you're doubtful, rest your awareness on your body. Look at what is happening around, right? When you are, for example, there are exercises. One of the common meditation exercises, raisin meditation. You take a raisin, which is a dry grape, or anything. It can be anything. But when you put it in the mouth, feel that fully. Feel the way it moves in your mouth. Feel the taste. Feel the way your tongue and mouth get activated through the raisins. It's called a raisin meditation. Really taste your food. We talk about mindful eating. Similarly, see the colors without thinking. Notice the smell without judging. Feel something without, again, going into judgment. Just feel the sensation. Notice the temperature of things. Sound, listen without labeling, right? And then any internal sensations like breathing in the chest, really heartbeat. So this is one technique. Anytime you feel confused, anytime you feel anxious, anytime you feel jittery, anytime you feel it out, would connect with your body. That's one way of feeling wholeness. Another way, third way, is about being in a state of mind you don't need to know. There are two ways: don't know mind and don't prefer mind. Don't know mind is you look at something as if you've seen it for the first time, with all curiosity. You listen to sounds without identifying them. You experience sensations without naming them. Whatever we learned in the sensory focus is about don't know mind, because my mind is not curious to know why and what. It's just feeling. You are in the being state. Similarly, don't prefer mind. Step out of right and wrong. That is where our analysis starts coming. Our logical thinking starts coming. Right? Step out of the right and wrong, good and bad frame. Oh, this is good. What a bad thing he did. What a bad thing that happened. You drop like and dislike judgments. Anything to do with analysis. Your mind craves for completion. Your mind craves for doing. Your mind craves for correctness. Let go of those. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be end up on the bad side for some days inadvertently, right? You don't need to kill yourself for that. So don't prefer mind as I don't want to analyze. I don't want to judge. Don't know mind is I don't want to go further into that analysis state. You stop it at that particular state. We saw that in the last session. By being at the front edge of now, you avoid analysis. And we saw how first the sensory mind gives you all the sensations. Then there is this mind talking about whether it is pleasant, unpleasant. And then you interpret what that situation is. And then you start forming the perceptions around that situation. Or the formation start happening, thoughts and feelings. If you're able to not go to that fourth step and be in those three steps, that means you are in this don't prefer mind. So these are practices, again, all of these need mindfulness, which again comes through meditation. So not knowing mind consciously, cognitively not allowing those thoughts to progress is one way of avoiding fragmentation. The next approach is stop gluing your thoughts together. Let your mind be. We just saw, let go of the past, let go of the future, let go of the present, and leave your mind alone. This is about being in the nowness. I am having a thought. I thought about it. I let go of the thought. I don't. When you're not mindful, there is one thought leading to another thought, leading to another thought, and you get lost in thoughts. We connect them to past incidents. We connect them to future fears. We connect them to feelings. Sometimes we are not even aware of those feelings. From effortful reaching to effortless receiving is what the shift happens when you allow your mind to be, the being mode. All of us know the Bhagavad Gita teaching of don't focus on the outcome, focus on the process. So when we are focused on the outcome, it's more mind oriented. When you are focused on the process, it's about the being. It's about the being. Right? Again, having said that, we do a lot of things intellectually. For example, I'm a software engineer. I like to code. When I code, I use certain parts of my doing brain, which is all fine. Right? Like Patanjali says, all of thinking is fine, but when the thinking happens with these emotions, which is what keeps you fragmented, right? The fear, we talked about those hindrances. So anytime the thinking is colored with hindrances, then it causes fragmentation of the mind. For example, when I am writing out a program, when I am singing, when I am creating a wonderful piece of music, if there is a sense of doubt whether people will appreciate it, whether the software application will come out well, then your mind is fragmented. The moment we let go of it, focus completely, complete steadiness and nowness in whatever we are doing, then the thinking network stops. So let your mind be. And the last one is, we call it something called gestalt awareness. It's about perceiving the whole. This is similar to the allocentric behavior or thought process mindset that we spoke about in the last session. It's about looking at the whole. A room contains many objects. Can you see the entire room in a single scene? Expanding to consciousness, going out into nature, looking at vast vistas of mountains, looking at vast oceans, right? Being in greenery, green nature. So when you see that, what does nature generally provide? It provides a sense of wholeness. It allows you to be connected. It provides a sense of allness. But when the moment the mind starts stepping in, it starts fragmenting. Oh, this is beautiful. Then something else is not beautiful. And then we start comparing things. Oh, that particular place was like this and this, right? So similarly with mind, all thoughts, feelings, sensations is a single flowing whole. You don't fragment between good and bad. You don't fragment between black and white, in and out, right? So expand to consciousness. Some sages say mind is like a sky. Thoughts, feeling, emotions are like clouds. Don't hang up on the clouds. The clouds don't have that essence. Be with the sky. You are the sky. Similarly, practicing wholeness with the body, as I mentioned, breathing in the chest, feeling wholeness of the thought. So we'll practice breathing with our whole body. So this is called Gestalt awareness, which is more holistic awareness of things. This also kicks up right brain processing or the lateral cortical networks. So all these are neural hacks, right? When you go look at a ocean, nature, greenery, appreciate things, right? Then they all activate the same networks, your lateral cortical networks, which allow you to be. The moment you start judging things, analyzing things, you go into your doing mode, you start fragmentation. Another thing is abiding as awareness. There are different levels of awareness. You are aware of something. I'm aware of this pen. I'm holding it, right? You are aware of something in the room. You are aware of the sound that the speakers are bringing you, right? You are aware of something. So you are aware of focus, attention, or aware of the breath, the sensations, the thoughts, the specific content. So aware of something specific. Then you have open awareness, generally being aware of things. Just like now we saw that, right? Gestalt awareness, non-judgment, no manipulation. You just witness seeing things. That's a higher degree of awareness. And then in advanced stages of meditation, some of you might have felt we are aware of being aware. That's called meta-awareness or metacognitive awareness. Turning aware, you are aware of being that you are aware of your breath. That is aware of awareness. And then the last one is you abide as awareness. You're experiencing awareness itself, spacious receptivity. You're always in that aware state, right? You are not even aware of anything. You're not aware of anything, but you are aware of being. So let go of focusing or anything specific. So in our meditations, we practice it that way, right? We start with focusing and then avoid judging or let go of thoughts, and then slowly start feeling that calmness. And then we start feeling ourselves being aware. Those are the progress in different stages of meditation. So, my dear friends, what are the benefits of being whole? Why should we be in wholeness? Why should we be in wholeness? Number one, as we learned in the last session, being in the present moment, being in the now, gives you the fullest satisfaction of a particular experience. When you are having that meal, when you are drinking that coffee, when you are completely whole without fragmentation of thinking about the coffee or thinking about something else or reading a newspaper or watching TV, then your experience is fragmented. Your senses are not wholly focused on one thing. So number one, when you are resting in wholeness, when you are being whole, your immediate experiences feel complete. Number two, when you are feeling complete and content, you will not look for other experiences. Craving stops. Only when you are only when a sense of craving happens, you start to suffer because something that you craved for or you wanted is not happening. Craving again can be two things: craving for something, craving against something. I don't want that. I don't want to be in a situation. I don't want that. That's also craving. And I want something is also craving. Number three, the third benefit of being whole is you are in the present moment, completely focused without your mind or concentration fragmented. Then it enhances your capabilities. It enhances creativity. It connects to your intuition. You're completely focused on what you're doing. You are able to be more spontaneous. Ideas come up. You don't need to be thinking about what I need to speak. A lot of us know that. Automatically words come up, right? The fourth one is spiritual development, foundation for deeper practices. You will suddenly find you're getting insights into emptiness. You're getting insights into impermanence, right? Things arise, things go. You're in a tough situation now. Okay, this is not going to last. I am ill. I am not well, right? This is not going to last, right? So you get over things. Your spiritual development happens. And more importantly, everyday enjoyment of simple things, because you don't get lost in thought when you're whole. greater appreciation of the present moment, reduce need to escape from the present moment and go into some crazy pastime like drinking coffee or scrolling your phone or watching your phone, right? And it also helps in sustainable well-being. You don't crave, you don't indulge in excessive consumption of food or anything to do with the mind, right? So when we are whole, when we experience wholeness, when you are in that being mode, there are a lot of benefits, right? Your health, both physical, mental, and spiritual, happens at the highest level. Your performance is at a peak. You're able to focus completely on your capabilities, right? And then you are not causing suffering. You don't allow that second arrow we spoke about in earlier session. We don't allow the second arrow to happen. The first arrows keep happening. That's okay, and we get let go, right? We let be, let go, or let in. Those are the three mantras for us to kind of cognitively practice being in wholeness. But the continuous practice of meditation automatically stops, silences the default mode network, silences the doing network, and allows you to be in. When I talk about being versus doing, it's not that when you are in the being mode, you don't do anything. When we say do is active thinking of those five hindrances. There's a lot of work that happens when you're in a being mode effortlessly. I talk about do, it's about putting that effort. So in closing, my dear friends, the whole is always here. If you don't making anything in your mind, every season is a good season. All of us have preferences. All of us have likes and dislikes. But the moment we go beyond that likes and dislikes is where we find wholeness. As this quotation by the Zen master talks about, flowers in springtime, wonderful. Moon in autumn, wonderful. Cool wind in summer, wonderful. Snow in winter, wonderful. If you don't make anything in your mind, for you, it's a good season. For us to be in a good season always, we can by these practices of being in wholeness. When the mind is undivided, each moment is perfect as it is. You are in nowness. Not because of everything is pleasant, but we don't make that particular moment good or bad. We don't fragment that moment from our experience. Moment exists, we're experiencing the moment as it is. We don't fragment that experience by bringing in a thought saying, oh, that is good, that is bad, by coloring it. Patanjali talks about coloring every thought with kleshas. The moment that you stop coloring it with kleshas, then you're experiencing the moment as a whole. And each one of us has this capability to be in that whole mind. So we'll dive into a practice. So may you rest in wholeness. May you be undivided. May you know your true nature. When we are undivided, our true nature is that undivided self. Anytime separation happens, it is not your true consciousness, right? Separation and segmentation and knowing self are lower levels of consciousness. That is what results in all ill health as well. All right. So with that, my dear friends, let's dive into practice for today, meditation practice. What we will do is, the practice is called whole body breathing. I will guide you through the steps. We'll slowly start off with relaxation and then slowly start anchoring. We'll follow some of the processes that we practiced earlier. And then I ask you to imagine yourself breathing from different parts, right? Maybe left part of your chest, right part of your chest, your head, your arms. And at some point, you should feel you're breathing with your whole body. That's what is wholeness. Your body and mind, your breath are all unified. All right. So relax yourself. You know the procedure. Clasp your hands, cross your feet at your angle, be comfortable. Keep your back, head, and neck straight, easy, relaxed. No part of your body should be tight. Slowly bring your awareness to your body. Feel your feet. Feel the way you are sitting on the seat. Feel the way your head and neck are resting on your body. Take 3 conscious breaths. Allow your body to relax. Feel yourself safe, grounded, and at ease. Instruct your mind not to disturb you just for 15 minutes. All thoughts, all to-dos, all tasks can wait for 15 minutes. Nothing will happen. For the next 15 minutes, it's you, your awareness, and your breath. As you feel yourself sitting on the chair or cushion or your bed, slowly bring your attention to your heart region and feel your breathing in and out from your heart region. Think about a person you deeply care about, or think about the person who deeply cares about you. Bring that feeling of love, the kindness, the compassion to your heart. Feel your body relaxing. Connection is one of the key factors to lasting happiness. Feel the peace in your body. Feel the warmth in your heart. Feel grateful to the love and care. Feel grateful for the situation. Bring to mind any person, situation, or thing for which you want to be thankful for, and express gratitude with your feeling from the bottom of your heart. Anything that we are grateful for grows. Gratitude is that multiplication factor, exponential multiplication factor for anything, leading to abundance. Continue feeling the breath in your chest, just the sensations of breathing. If you're unable to feel sensations or movements in your chest, you can feel the movements or sensations in your stomach region. Notice the left side of your chest, sensations of breathing on that side. Similarly, notice left side of your stomach region and feel the movements. Then feel the right side of your stomach region or your chest region Feel the moments. Be in sync with your breathing. Do not allow your mind to wander. Now, as you breathe, feel your chest and your stomach region, breathing in and breathing out with every inhale and exhale. Feel your entire front part of your body breathing in and breathing out. Just need to feel. Do not judge, do not alter your breathing. Your left side, right side of your chest, left and right side of your stomach are all moving in unison as you breathe in and breathe out. Be aware of your front portion of your body. Now, include your lower back and your upper back. As you breathe in and breathe out, be aware of your front of your body as well as the back of your body. The rise and fall of sensations as you breathe in and breathe out. Slowly expand your awareness to your arms, your shoulders, your hands, your forearm, your fingers. Feel the sensation to your breathing moving through your arms as well. Slowly become aware of your head region as you breathe in and breathe out. Your upper part of the body and your head, all of it breathing in, breathing out at your natural rhythm. Include your neck, your head, your face. Enjoy the feeling of your entire upper body, including your head, neck, and face, breathing in and breathing out. Avoid distraction, no analysis, no judgment. Feel the tingling sensations across your upper part of your body. Could be in your arms, could be in your head, face, shoulders, chest, or abdomen. Feel the lightness of your upper body as your upper body is in sync with your breathing. Now slowly feel your thighs, Feel your knees. Feel your legs. Feel as if your breath is extending all the way to your feet. Every inhale, you're breathing in love, breathing in energies, breathing in calmness to your entire body. And you're breathing out dislikes, breathing out fragmentation, breathing out any of the hindrances, breathing out irritation, agitation, doubt. Feel your whole body breathing, including your feet. Energy is flowing throughout your body through the 72,000 nadis and our 7 chakras. It's happening every moment. When we calm our mind and elevate our awareness, then we'll be able to feel those sensations throughout our body. Feel your whole body breathing. It's a wonderful, calm, joyous feeling. Keep your body relaxed, no strain. Now include any sounds or any feelings, sensations that you are getting from the environment. Could be the sensations on your skin due to the fan or AC. Could be some distant sounds. Include that in your awareness without judgment. Live the whole experience throughout your body. The next 2 minutes, just be with your breath, your whole body awareness, and anything coming from the environment without judgment. You are not separate from what you are experiencing. You are the awareness and consciousness that you are experiencing. You are not the thoughts, feelings, sensations. Feel your whole body breathing in unity as a whole. Feel your heart rise lighter. Feel the bliss and energies of the present moment. Notice the natural peace, calm, bliss that arises because of this unified experience. You are a whole body, mind, and soul. Now, feel the space around you. Bring in a sense of gratitude to your entire experience during this meditation practice. Bring back your attention to the way you are sitting, your chair, your posture. Relax your body. You can unclasp your fingers and place your palms on your eyes for a few seconds and open your eyes when you are ready. So, my dear friends, that's a practice, whole body breathing practice for us to feel a sense of wholeness. I hope some of you are able to experience the wholeness of body, mind, the mind being silent, and your breath circulating throughout your body. That's exactly what happens as you breathe in and breathe out through your nose. Your energy gets circulated. Prana is part of the every air, every breath you breathe in, and the energy moves around your body through the nadis and chakras. And as any movement produces sensations, you will feel feel those sensations in your body as well. So with that, we covered the 6 keys of becoming whole or being in wholeness along with this. So next session, we will wrap up with a formula for wholeness and do a longer practice incorporating all the things that we have learned in the last 6 sessions, including this one.